Hello, and welcome to Cox Local Edition on HLN. My name's Jessica Carver, and I'm with Cox Communications. Today we have a special guest with us from the Fairfax Symphony Orchestra, the music director, Chris Zimmerman. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Jessica. Pleasure to be here.
So tell us, the Fairfax Symphony Orchestra, we're approaching the second half of the season. Tell us
That's
what
right.
we can expect.
Well, we have 3 concerts left in the season. The first one on January the 14th and 15th, we're featuring a mainly Russian program. A beautiful romantic piece by the composer Glazunov to start with, which features actually solo cello and orchestra, and then to end, one of Shostakovich's, the big Russian 20th century composer, one of his epic symphonies, Symphony Number 11, which is very, it's almost like film music. It's so descriptive of actually events in the Russian Revolution. It's a very, very powerful piece. And in between that, something really different in style, a Haydn cello concerto, kind of a light and fizzy piece to kind of balance out the program. And then our next concert, we're featuring, again, an entirely different type of music, Stravinsky Firebird Suite, which is one of his best-known and loved pieces, and also a Sibelius symphony, his last symphony. We've been doing a Sibelius sort of spotlighting the music of Sibelius over the last 3 years. So, and this is our final year of that, so we're playing his last piece, his last symphony, number 7. And also Finlandia, which is another piece of his very well known. And in between that, we have a piano concerto of Liszt, so it's a real sort of potpourri of different styles. And our final concert is sort of English music and French music. I like to call it England versus France. 2 big composers, Debussy and Ravel, probably the best-known French composers of all, on the French side. And on the English side, we have Purcell, a composer from very early period, even before Bach, and Sir Edward Elgar, famous English romantic composer.
Excellent. They sound like all really wonderful events. So tell us, your first show, which is coming up in January, you're doing that on a couple different nights in a couple of different venues. Tell us a little bit about those.
We normally play at GMU Center for the Arts in Fairfax, George Mason University Center for the Arts, but we're doing a second performance at the Hilton Center in Manassas. We've been doing this now for 2 years, where we like to perform when we can a second showing, as it were. And that hall is absolutely spectacular, I've got to say. Both in looks, it's beautiful, and also equally good acoustically. It's absolutely, it's a real gem. It's a splendid place. We're doing 2 performances, January 14th and 15th, that Russian program I was telling you. So if people can't make both, they can certainly choose one. And as I say, if people have not been to the Manassas Hall, I really recommend it. It's a spectacular venue. It sounds wonderful. It's great.
And the Fairfax Symphony Orchestra does more than just these things that we're talking about. They're also very involved in the community. Can you tell us a little bit about?
That's right. I mean, we're talking about what we call our Master Series concerts, but we also have quite an extensive education program, particularly in Fairfax public school system. We have a number of projects, actually. One is, we call it the side-by-side program, where a number of our professional musicians go into the schools when they're preparing their own concerts and sit next to them in rehearsals and help them with their technical preparation and then play the concert with them. We also have another program where our players go in and simply do performances in the schools and also in the parks. That's called the Overture to Orchestra program. And I actually myself sometimes go in and actually conduct the orchestras, you know, when I'm invited. It's very nice for other educational purposes.
That sounds wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, Jessica. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Cox Local Edition. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and have a great day.